Hi, George from Digital High Road here, talking to you today about content spinning. Is content spinning BS, or is it something that's legitimate? Is it something you should be doing as an online marketer? That's today's video subject. Let's move on into content spinning and conversation about content spinning. Well, first we're going to look at is content spinner that I belong to. I purchased years ago, probably 7-8 years ago, spin rewriter, and it was like over $300 I spent on it. I get lifetime access to it, and we're going to talk today about a spin writer and how it works. Okay, so in today's video, what we're going to look at is article spinning, and as I said, why is article spinning complete BS? Well, let's look and first define what article spinning is, and then after that we'll look at what the intention of article spinning is originally and what people turned it into, and then I'll show you an example of using a spin rewriter that I had access to that and show you how it works and how ineffective it is and why it is complete BS. So let's move on into what article spinning is. Well, article spinning, if you go to Wikipedia, tells you pretty much what it is. Article spinning is writing technique used in search engine optimization. Well, that's what the intention of article spinning is. It's where they use specific words, phrases, and sentences, and even entire paragraphs, and they come up with multiple alternate versions by using spinware. Now, there's an expert from the UK, Matthew Woodward, who gets into very, very deep detail, gets into the woods real deep with this. And real content spinning by people who really know what they're doing can be used for SEO. However, what becomes amateurish content spinning used to work in Google back in, let's say, 2010 and before, because Google's algorithms were not as advanced as they are today. However, because of AI, artificial intelligence, because of use of artificial intelligence, Google's purpose, obviously, is to provide content to the user. So if I go in and look for what is article spinning, I want to have the best user experience possible as I look down through what they're presenting to me on page 1. They present some videos, they give me some ads up here, and there's most often asked questions, which they started a few years ago, where you can drop down and have specific answers, and again, can be directed to specific content that is what Google's AI algorithms today tell them are the best used sites. They're going to give you the best user experience. So keeping that in mind, and go back to Matthew Woodward's account, and I'll leave a link for this down in the description so you can read it. You can read it, but you may not understand most of it. Even I, who have been doing this for a while, it will spin your head, mush your brain up a little bit, because there is some very detailed. In fact, a few years ago, I purchased a course where they had main thing that they were selling in the course was how to build a business using content spinning. And the expert that was doing it, would do webinars doing it. And I would have my head spinning around and around, trying to figure out what the H he was talking about. And I could never obviously duplicate it, so I had obviously wasted my money. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some content and we're going to look at a free spin bot, is what it's called, a free spin bot site. And we're going to show you just what this entails and what it looks like when it's not done properly. Okay, so I put in a search for free article spinners, and so this was the first one. So you can see you put your text in here, and the rewritten text will come here. What I'm going to do is we're going to bring in a few things here, why article spinning is complete BS, and some of my reasons. Just going to take this, copy this in here, and then say I'm not a robot, and go. We'll see if now it rewrote this down here. What we have to do then is go through same title. Substance says made neither rhyme or reason. So it makes no sense. So you can see each sentence, substance is probably not going to rank. Content is unlikely to rank. So you can see that you're stealing other people's work and using it on, you're taking different people groups' work and utilizing it on its own. So you can see where this may not make a lot of sense if you, who talks like this? A substance is probably not going to rank is fine. Substance is considerably more improbable to offer any worth to an individual per using. Content's more unlikely to offer value to people reading. See, mine sounds like something you would say, and this sounds like something you would write for Google to read, but it's not intended for user intent, really. It's like, huh? Who reads and writes stuff like this through normal conversation? So you can see what I wrote here is much easier to read and understand. So next we're going to take a look at the spin writer. Okay, so this is a top-notch spin rewriter, an article spin content spinner. And what I've done here is I've taken part of an article, 1,656 words, and then put it in here. Now, step one, he wants you to rewrite an article. Now, there's settings in here, and this is how the spin writers work. This has, we can set it up to do automatic rewriting of sentences. We have it automatically rewrite entire paragraphs and automatically write new paragraphs and summaries, or automatically change the structure of phrases and sentences. Now, since this is such a long article, what I'm going to do is we're just going to turn on this one here, and then we'll say OK, and then we're going to just rewrite the article. We'll watch it do what it's going to do. Now, in a matter of seconds, it's going to rewrite the article, evaluating the synonyms of the words and phrases, so it can replace them with new ones. Okay, now that took approximately about 1 minute and 10 seconds, around there. So it's around 70 seconds. And what it did is it went through the article, and everywhere that there's a choice, gives you the original word, and it gives you choices of different words that you can put in. Now what it's done is it set itself up using syntax, which is a form of writing, using these polls and these brackets, and it's going to give the program here choices to make to create various new amounts of articles. Now I can take this and move this and create it. I can have it create 100 of these at one time, and it'll kick out 100 different articles. But this says right now it's 99% unique. So we're going to go back into the settings, and here it says for word phrases, protected words. Now, if there's a phrase in here, let's say if you have Burger King, Burger King or McDonald's, or some 2-letter word, 3-letter word, that you don't want changed because it'll spin everything, you can put that phrase in here. Let's say it's, I don't know if there's something in here, but we could maybe go through. Okay, so I went through, I found a couple things I want protected. I don't want cues to be called anything else. I don't want the horse to be called anything else. Rain, I don't want that. That's not the rain outside, but that's a rain. That's the name of a part of controlling a horse. And I'm also going to turn this on. It's going to automatically protect all capitalized words. So I think before we do that, we're going to say OK to that. We can click rewrite again, or we can save for later, or we can finalize the article. Let's say we're going to do one-click rewrite again. It's going to give you a countdown. Okay, so rewrote this again. What we're going to do is we're going to finalize the article. That's going to finalize it for you. Now it'll give us the ability to order up how many unique copies we want for it. So I can say generate a unique article. I just generated a unique article right here. It says, does your steed clearly recognize? So now I did the horse after, so it immediately, see it right here, it offers horse, equine, steed. We want that to remain horse. So it changed that. So you see, if you take this and read this, this is probably not going to be the greatest thing that you've ever read. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to spend time rewriting this. So you have to ask yourself, after you set all these settings, took this article and went through all this, is this going to really be saving you time? Because the purpose of using a content spinner is to save time, creating a bunch of new articles that are based on the same article that will be search engine optimized, so you can put them on different Web 2.0 sites or the like, post them on Facebook, Twitter. You'll have something different to be ranked by Google from each thing. It'll all have links back to your site. So you can see this is touchy. So if you go back to the article that he's talking about here, then you probably would need to read this and understand and study it. Now, the reason is, again, to save yourself time and to gain advantage over Google for rankings. Now, is this going to really save you time in the end, or will it be cheaper for time purpose for you just to go through and write an article yourself and then rewrite the article a little bit different? So as we move on into content spinning, I want you to realize that the reason, the advantage that these JVZoo products, Warrior Plus products you find online, ClickBank products, whatever, they're often, a lot of them have centralized part of the product they're selling you is to spin content spinning. It spins articles. You can use them in conjunction with the product, or it's part of the product. They provide a content spinner. You can see if you put best article spinners in Google, you'll get lots and lots and lots. There's 5 best, 10 best, 5 best, 7 best. There's all kinds. There's free and paid, all kinds of things that you can get for content spinning that you can use. Now, the reason you're going to be using article spinning that they're going to sell you on is to save your time and your effort. That the content spinner can do both for you. The thing I want to bring to your attention is that hopefully through this video you've realized that it isn't going to save you the kind of time you think it is. Secondly, it creates what comes down to maybe a lot of nonsense. What's being supplied as the spun content is unreadable. If it's unreadable, and we talked earlier in the video about the fact that Google and its AI, artificial intelligence, understands context, understands the difference. They even can read pictures now and tell the difference between this and that just by... So the thing is, you're going to try to fool Google. You're not going to do it anymore. So you have to have original content to rank. So the spun content is most unlikely unless you have taken a lot of time to rewrite it. You know, as this gentleman here, Matthew Woodward, talks about, this is a tedious process. If you go down through here and look, there's a lot here that he talks about. It's very detailed, and I just dare you to match his knowledge with what he knows and how he can do it. That you can't, I don't think you could duplicate it personally. And a lot of big businesses, big businesses use organizations, companies that specialize in SEO and content spinning, but they are professionals who know exactly what to do and how to do it. So you would probably fail, not get your content ranked, and you're not going to save time. You have to rewrite everything. So the thing is, like I said, with the content spinner, remember there's a lot of, we looked at all these settings here, all these things you could do. You could play around with these even more. But I have done this before, and what ends up is you get content that's even more whacked, if you will. It's even harder to understand what the intention of the content is. So keeping in mind that your content spinning is to get ranking, and rankings only come from the fact that the user is going to be satisfied by you're answering queries by your content. It just, you're kind of up against it, if you will. So I would recommend that you don't use content spinning as even a small thing that you're doing. I would say just concentrate on writing original content and be providing valuable content to the users. Match up the keyword with what they're looking for, provide that content for them. And the other thing I just want to mention is that you have to use these content writers very often you can check Copyscape right here. If you can pay for Copyscape, you can check it to make sure it's original, but that doesn't mean that it's going to rank still. It may be just gibberish to the Google algorithm and their AI. So keeping all that in mind, I would recommend probably not looking at content spinning as an activity, and don't spend the money on, like I spent probably $300 for lifetime on this, and I don't even use it anymore, and I barely used it when I did buy it. Keeping all that in mind, I hope this video has helped you and given you some value today. If it has, please give me a large thumbs up, like the video. We thank you for watching the video. Also, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I publish new content. Also want to remind you that down in the description, there's a link for 12-step free training. It's available today. You can get it today. It's free. And you can get yourself started on building a simplistic, but yet a system that works and you can build a business with, that you'll understand. And as always, if you have any comments, please leave the comments, negative or positive, about the video or anything else you have questions about that have to do with making money online. Please leave those comments down below the video, and I'll get back to you personally with that. I want to thank you today for watching the video. We appreciate you. God bless. So long.